Welcome to West Texas Droning. Can your drone survive when it hits the fan? Well, maybe this is a little bit extreme, but we thought we'd touch on the subject of electromagnetic pulse. We did talk about a video a while back about jamming and how that can adversely affect your drone. Another thing is electromagnetic pulse. Now, when you think of electronic magnetic pulse, EMP as we call it, EMP is usually associated, I think, with a nuclear weapon, a hydrogen bomb, atomic bomb. Those don't go off very often, and we hope they never do, but there are other sources of EMP which we will talk about. First thing we have to ask or determine is, hey, are my drones, controllers, RD modules, strobes, batteries, are those susceptible to EMP? And Grok says yes, all of them are susceptible in varying degrees. The most susceptible is going to be your drone. It is extremely susceptible to EMPs. All the delicate electronics, the processors, all that stuff in that drone is susceptible to EMP, and there's no protection around that equipment or those components. The plastic case that your drone is in does not provide any protection at all. Your controller is susceptible. All that electronics in it can be overwhelmed or actually fried by an overload caused by EMP. Also, your RID module can get toasted. Your strobes can get damaged, although they're not as necessary or critical to flight as is your RID module. And your RID module just kills the RID, but you know what happens to your drone and your controller. Your batteries are not that susceptible except in the Manage It protection system. You know, in the batteries, smart batteries, they know when to charge and not to charge and the rate to charge. Those are susceptible to EMP. And if it says down there, if EMP occurs while everything is powered on or in the open, expect damage on all of that stuff. Well, okay, what can we do about it? Well, there are ways to protect your drones, your electronic equipment from EMP. You've heard of a Faraday cage. That is a device that surrounds a drone that kind of absorbs and keeps the EMP away from the electronics of your drone. Other things you can do is there are bags you can purchase, and they're military grade bags for storing your drone, your batteries, your controller in during an EMP event. The Faraday cage is very awkward. You probably have something in your house that would work very well. If you've got a metallic or a metal box like a bread box, here's my bread box, it would hold a lot of stuff and could protect my drone controller and stuff like that from an EMP. Well, how about flying? There's not really anything out there for consumer grade drones that would protect the drone completely without overloading it with weight. There may be some stuff for paintings or coatings, but for a small drone like a Mini 3, an Air 3, stuff like that, it's just not practical for that. Now, there are some stuff you can buy. Here's a list of them. You have good cases for consumer drones, and they're in various sizes and will protect the contents of the bag or container from EMP. Now, is a nuclear bomb going to go off in your neighborhood? Probably not. Where will the EMP come from? Well, lightning. You've heard of people whose houses they think get hit by lightning and their TV goes or their radio goes or a lot of stuff in their house will get damaged or destroyed. And a lot of the time, it's not through the wiring of the house that overloads the device. It's the EMP from a nearby lightning strike. And this thing says it within maybe 100 meters, close enough to actually damage your equipment. Something to think about. Do you normally jump up in the middle of the night if a thunderstorm comes through and throw your stuff in there? Probably not. It would be good if a lot of the bags and stuff that we bought had some kind of a Faraday type coating or fabric, something that would protect your drones in an EMP, but it's not something we think about very often. So having covered that, we were going to go out, or I was going to go out and fly. And of course, this time of year in Texas, we get some really bad weather days, very hot, very windy, miserable days to fly. And so what we did is went back and picked up a video I hadn't used yet where I did an experiment using my Air 3 and taking off in telephoto mode, the 3x mode, and flew around with it and used that drone to do some inspections in rim rocks to see if there's anything in there, just kind of a test. So I'm going to show you that video now. This is in Dead Man's Canyon. We've flown there before. It was a little windy, but nothing an Air 3 can't handle. And you can set taking off in telephoto is what you call it with a camera. Things are a little bit compressed. The depth is kind of compressed, but I thought I'd fly around and see what the drone could do, zooming into different places. You don't have to get real close, worry about the trees and stuff. Of course, they do have obstacle avoidance, but I can stand back a little bit with the telephoto on and then zoom in and out to make an inspection. And this is just a test to see if you could see anything interesting as you're flying around looking in these rim rocks. It was a little bit windy. It wasn't real hot on this day I took this video. It was in the 80s. The cloud cover made it pleasant to be out instead of getting sunburned and exposed to ultraviolet radiation. And it was really a pretty good day to fly. Could have been a little less wind, but you're grateful it's not 60 or 70 miles an hour. Of course, when you zoom in, you not being an optical zoom, it's a electronic zoom, and you lose a little bit of the resolution. But this is just an experiment to see how this would work. You can run, but you can't hide. If you'll pay close attention later on in the video, you will see some wildlife zipping by in the screen. It don't really think that the doe knew the drone was there. Maybe it did, but it was kind of nonchalant about walking through the scene. With all the wind, I'm not sure that the deer could hear the drone, although they do have very good hearing. You can see why law enforcement could make use of drones, and they have, even in the town where I live. I was out one day in the front yard and a drone came zooming by, and I said, well, that's not mine. I wonder who's doing that. And it turned out that the drone was chasing down a offender, and he had gone over to the arroyo where I have filled and tried to hide in the grass, and they caught him. And he said if it wasn't for that darn drone, he could have got away. So this is a valuable tool to have in a lot of different venues. It's a good place to hide stuff, gold, money. Remember, that's what Black Eye did in the episode they did called The Legend of Dead Man's Canyon, which was filmed here. The good thing about using this is it's hard to see from the ground, and you have to walk all the way up there to look in these cracks and crevices. And during the daytime, rattlesnakes like to hide in these places. They have dens and places they crawl into and get out of the summer heat. And so this is a safe way to go up and inspect these areas without getting snake bit. As I was filming this, I was doing a screen recording and the drone recording, and for some reason the drone, and I don't know if it had anything to do with going a long time in telephoto mode. I don't understand why it just quit recording, and the screen will flop over to the screen recording from the controller. Did you see the deer? He just walked by. The stability of the Air 3 in the wind is really awesome, and makes a good stable platform for videography or snooping around like I'm doing. It's kind of an interesting looking place. That looks like a good hiding place in that little hole there for a critter. But I guess nobody's home. And here you can see that the drone video just quit recording, so I reverted to screen recording here to show the return to home and the landing. I swear I didn't touch anything to shut that screen recording off on the drone. It just kind of quit, so reverted to the screen recording to show you the return to home and the landing. I didn't have an action camera out to film the landing, but you'll see it sets down just right on the landing pad. And there we go. Okay, well, thank you for stopping by, for viewing the video with me. I ask that you like, comment, share, subscribe, ring the bell. Click on the up yours. I appreciate the support, and thanks for stopping by. May God bless. We'll see you later.